Hello, everyone. I'm Blue Star Saber. Once again, we're joined with Mangareader to discuss another My Hero Academia chapter review. Say hello, Mangareader.
Am I joining you or are you joining me, Blue? Hey, guys.
Marguerite, I see you've gone into the sort of festive spirits with your avatar.
Yeah, it's the holidays.
Uh, let's see. Nice pick, by the way, but yeah. So anyway, we'll be following up from after last chapter, which I think when we get to it, Margarita will have a big "I told you so" moment.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
Yeah. Oh boy, I can feel that my previous chapter review with all the predictions and discussions have not aged well.
all of 1 week.
Yeah. Oh well. Oh well, it's better than a politician's Twitter account, I guess.
Mm.
Those things really don't age well.
Nothing ever does.
But yeah. But anyway, we're here to discuss the 336th chapter. All that stuff. So I suppose we should begin with that. Before we do this, let's see. So anyway, let's see. The name of the chapter, I believe, is. I'm trying to find the name of the chapter. Yeah. The title is Villain. Now, for what I've put in the subtitle, The True Villain Revealed, which I'm sure most people, if they've read the chapter, already know. But yeah. Anyway, before we begin, let's see, we've got a double colored spread based on like the top 10 most popular characters with with respective with a respective animal, all that stuff. Let's see, Bakugo has a wolf. Let's see, Arazawa has a cat. Midoriya a ram. The movie kid, let's see, hold on, let me just find his name. Rhodey has his bird. Let's see, Shoto has a leopard. Hawks has a hawk. Ida a horse. Let's see, Red Riot a turtle. Present Mike a parrot. And Shinso a cat, I think. Yeah, a black cat. Midway is pretty fitting of their personalities and all that stuff, if you ask me.
Yeah, sheep. Turtle. Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Okay, though, granted, some might question Midoriya of the ram, but I guess it goes to show that he can be, let's see, soft, fluffy, and cuddly, but also dangerous at the same time.
The ram. I'm curious if well, no, because there's a cat in there. I was gonna say most of this looks like the Chinese zodiac, but then yeah, the parrot also doesn't fit into.
Yeah, it's
Most of
chatty
them
like,
do. Yeah.
yeah, it's chatty like Present Mike, but yeah, I can see what you mean there.
Yeah. Because like there's the horse. I mean, the chicken could have easily been like the hawk or whatever if you really wanted to, but then you have the sheep, which can be the ram, turtle, wolf can be dog, leopard can be tiger or something. Kind of. I thought there was more of a theme going there than just this, but oh well.
Well, anyway, let's see. Anyway, and the results of the poll is, let's see, want me to go back or let's see from like behind or first place first? Out of curiosity, how do you think I should announce it?
A lot of people like to say first for last, so if you wanted to go backwards.
Yeah, in 10th place, Hotoshi, or I believe it's the Shinso, the voice dude. I guess the recent anime, let's see, season 5 has probably helped in that regards.
Yep.
Let's see, but who knows? But yeah, in ninth, let's see, in 9th place, which is probably going to be a surprise for many people, Japan has voted Rhodey, the new character introduced in the third My Hero Academia movie, in the 9th spot for the popularity poll.
That's interesting. That means, yeah, everyone was like kind of crapping on the third movie, but no, Rhodey was probably one of the one of the more bright spots. It seemed like he was one of the few positives people had about that movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good movie, but you know.
I guess let's see. It's possible Japan probably liked the movie more than America did.
Possibly.
I mean, cultural differences and all that stuff.
Yeah, it might be it too.
Let's see. In 8th place, Present Mike.
Huh. No, he's pretty. Yeah, he had a little more prominence in the last, at least since the last poll.
Yeah, not to mention the arc and the anime. Not to mention he got to punch that scumbag scientist in the face. So who knows? That
Right.
might have done some things for him. Either that, or perhaps there are more Aizawa X Present Mike Yaoi shippers in Japan than we realize.
Oh God, yeah. Well, there probably does exist a subculture of that out there somewhere in Japan.
Anyway, number 7, Aizawa.
I feel like he dropped a bit, but yeah.
I guess perhaps the recent arc probably boosted his popularity. I mean,
Is
he
that
is.
what?
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh yeah, boosted is. I don't know. I feel like it dropped probably because he hasn't been on for a lot of time since at least the. Because usually Izawa I thought placed in the top, like at the top. Well, 7 isn't really that far below the top 6, but you know, it is a slight drop.
Anyway, in 6th place, Tenya Ida.
That's interesting because I don't know if Ida really had much of a role recently.
Well, his most recent major. Well, he did take part a bit in the final fight, in the war arc and all that stuff, and he did have that moment of reaching Midoriya's hand and in the Tartarus escapees arc. So it seems like I think the recent spotlight to Tenya has probably brought him back into popularity a bit. Maybe. Which is nice to see, because I've always been a bit of a fan of Ida, and I feel like, Koei kind of underutilized him in the second saga, if you will.
Yeah. Ida, like I said, I don't know. Ida, to me, hasn't really... Yeah, recently he got a couple of things, but I don't know if overall, since I'm pretty sure this poll didn't just take place in a single day. That's interesting that he's number 6.
Yeah. Anyway, in 5th place, Hawks.
That's kind of a drop.
Apparently, he got a boost or something.
Did he?
Huh. Yeah, and I think it might have been higher than his last poll, but I haven't really been following the polls. So
right. I don't know. I feel like he was consistently. I thought he was. Well, maybe I thought he was in the top 5 one of the times. So
I don't know.
But he is in 5, but yeah.
Yeah. But no surprising there. He's got the pretty boy looks, so yeah, there's that.
Of course.
So yeah. Not to mention he has been playing a bit of a major role in all that stuff.
Of course.
So there's no surprise there.
Maybe he hasn't dropped. I don't know. Maybe I'm just... Yeah, I thought he was 4, though, for some reason the last time, so...
I don't know. At some point, we're probably just going to have to generally look at the My Hero Academia popularity polls and then probably discuss them in general.
Probably.
Anyway, in 4th place, Irajiro, or Red Riot, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's really done much, but he seems to be pretty consistently on there. Mainly for his tenacity.
Yeah, no, I think this is probably the highest he's ever gotten.
Could have been.
Usually he's in the, lower top 10 if he does appear, but now I think he's gone higher. I'm not sure why. Is this some sort of, maybe it's a bromance between him and Bakugo or something? I don't know.
If it has anything to do with the war thing, it might have just been the fact that he made up to the one time that what's her name saved him back in the day.
Oh yeah, it seems like we got a bit of a live comment for something about VOHFYI. I have no idea if that is. I'm not sure if that's someone's just trolling with me or some sort of acronym. I don't know, but okay. It's nothing to do with discussion, so moving on, back to the thing. In 3rd place, this is no surprise here. Let's see, is Shoto.
Yeah, him and Deku seem to trade third and second place every now and then.
Yeah, which gets to, let's see, second place, Izuku.
Yep.
Let's see, who has not been has been constantly even in second or third place, and let's see, ever since, let's see, the second popularity poll.
Yeah, he started in first the first 2 times, and then yeah, it's just been second or third ever since.
Yeah, which gets to the number 1 spot, which is no surprise once again, Katsuki Bakugo.
They always write the rivals. They seem to always have the rivals have some of the better character development.
That, or they just seem to be the most popular.
Yeah, I can't blame them for this one because recently Bakugo has been getting a lot of
Character development, yeah.
and stage time and all that junk.
Yeah.
But he's been a lot cooler recently, so I can't really blame him for being in first in this popularity poll.
Yeah, so, yeah, and this time I can probably understand it and all that stuff, but yeah.
Right.
Let's see, also some interesting facts. In, like, 11th place is Endeavor, 12th place, Ochako, 13th place, All Might, 14, Momo, and 15th, Denki.
Cool.
I believe this is probably the first time that All Might and Ritzy Uraraka have been out of the top 10. I could be wrong on that account, but
yeah, I think All Might placed in the top 10 originally. I think Ochaku has been kind of dropping because they haven't really had Hidoshi hasn't been using her too much.
Yeah, except maybe that, like, see, speech, which was pretty good, but yeah, but action-wise, not so much. But no, granted, she did recently have a rematch against, Toga, but yeah. But yeah, but interesting enough, this is probably like the first time that My Hero Academia has none of its female cast in the top 10. Nor have I ever seen or maybe in just shonen manga popularity polls in general, because I've always at least seen one female character in the top 10 poll, or I could be wrong on that account. But then again, perhaps I haven't really been paying too much attention to all the polls. So there's that. Well, granted, yeah. Let's see, but since sadly, since they're not in the top 10, they're not drawn in the top 10, which is a bit weird because I've often seen, even when, let's see, the female protagonist doesn't always make it into the top 10, the mangakas always try to get her included at least, regardless if it's at, like, in 12th or 14th place. At least they add, like, up to the top 15 or something. Stuff like that.
Right.
Let's see. I knew that Kishimoto used to do that with Sakura whenever she didn't reach the top 10, which was half the time, unfortunately, which apparently led to the influence about her not being popular enough and certain creative decisions.
I guess, although I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, granted, yeah. I have no idea if these how much of an impact these popularity polls will have on the characters, though this is probably a reason why mostly Midoriya, Bakugo, and Shoto get the most screen time and all that stuff. But I am hoping that, it doesn't affect Kohei's story too much. But yeah. Well, granted, I do know he did mention how Shinso Hotoshi has got like a upcoming role in like this new saga and all that stuff. So we have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, anyway, let's see. Any more comments you want to do on the popularity poll?
I don't know. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, I guess.
Fair enough. Then I suppose it's time we actually get on to the actual chapter summary and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We've been talking about the popularity polls long enough, I think. Now to self, we edited the headline to talk about popularity polls, but yeah, to include popularity polls. But anyway, the chapter begins with Bakugo and Midoriya training and all that stuff. As Bakugo's comments about the time he trained under Endeavor about how he improved his sweat with his new cluster moves.
Yep.
And why he's using his winter outfit and all that stuff to cause more sweat to make it work. Anyway, Midoriya, as a result of this training, ends up getting a sort of afro kind of head as he comments about how it seems like Shoto was also training, as we see Shoto trying to mix his fire and ice, if you will, to try and make both sides have both the heat and the warmth and all that stuff. So let's see, he's able to protect himself, so not even Dabi would able to burn him and all that stuff. Well, then Denki and Mineta are commenting about how with them talking about how the League of Villains, particularly All for One and Shigaraki, should be weakened, and tied out for this all-out war and all that stuff.
Right.
Not to mention we get an update of what happened to Giganton Makia.
Always a fun one.
Yeah, Gigamekia.
Yeah.
Let's see,
giant. Yeah. Resident giant stamina.
Yeah. Let's see. Apparently, they've created a new sort of prison tent for him, where he's apparently tied down and constantly sedated to snooze and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So with him down, they're hoping that they'll be able to have enough time to take out the two big twos. Though, who knows? I wonder if this chapter might be implying. No, granted, this is perhaps discussion later, but yeah. Anyway. However, Bakugo ends up telling Denki and Mineta that there are three reasons why this ain't the case and why they can, quickly pursue the League of Villains and all that stuff. As, Bakugo points out the first reason that it's unlikely they're going to find them since, despite the fact that they've, found, the previous hideout in those secret labs and all that stuff. No one's going to be able to track them down since, All for One is with them, since he's a master of causing escape plans and all that stuff.
Right.
So it's a big old hide to seek. Momo ends up going about reason number 2 about how Shigaraki's body wasn't even complete last time. And while this is, and when the last time they fought him, and during then, they had all the heroes then. Now, half of those heroes have been, reduced in size, so they've lost half their military might, if you will.
Yep.
And during the background, you have Jiro commenting about how Bakugo should knock it off with his rude, smart mouth, rude, disgusting, language, since when he was talking about All for One, he was a bit of saying some appropriate words while talking about when trash talking All for One and all that stuff.
Right.
All in needs trying explanation, but yeah. And then the third, and the third reason, as Bakugo says, they're the ones that decide when they make the first move and all that stuff.
Yeah, the villains still.
Mm-hmm. It seems and it seems to be interesting because they talk about the possibility of Shigaraki possibly losing the search quirk that Ragdoll used to have before All for One stole it.
Yeah.
Let's see, but regardless, they still get to make the opening move. Let's see, as that's why their side is trying to make everybody body able to fight the villains when they can.
Yeah.
As Midoriya goes Midoriya says, if nothing else, we can choose how we can enter this fight by improving their abilities and all that stuff. And and he's commenting about how once he's all up and better again, he'll be able to rejoin the search for the bad guys. Though either hits Midoriya on the head saying, "Don't you mean we?" To remind him that he's not going out on his own again.
Not this time, chump.
And Midoriya, covered in his afro hair, smiles to that. Let's see, but Midoriya says on this note, but anyway, Midoriya says he's going to go on a quick stroll and all that stuff. So, we're either commenting about how, let's see, I think that being fine since between the hero courses and the evacuees have grown warmer since Uraraka's speech with like Tsuyu grinning at, let's see, Uraraka. He's like going like, shucks, embarrassed that about the whole thing. I'm not sure if Isuku ex Uraka shippers have made this into thinking this is some sort of like ship tease for their ship, but who knows?
Right.
No, to be honest, I'm pretty certain it's more of just Uraka being embarrassed that. Let's see her speech seems to be having an impact, but yeah.
Right.
But anyway, with both Denki and Mineta now a bit bummed, let's see, and all that stuff. Let's see. I have to make a snide comment about how All for One still seems to have a grin on his face. It's probably still got a grin on his face and all that stuff.
Right.
But anyway, we cut to like the UA woods as we are with Tokahara. Am I saying that right? Invisible Girl.
Oh, I never remember a name.
Yeah, I should really learn the names of everyone, but I don't know. Oh yeah, Toru Hagakuru, otherwise known as Invisible Girl.
Right.
Is thinking about, is by herself in the woods, as she say, thinking about ever since the stuff in the Gangia and Jakku. Let's see, she's noticed that someone has been down on the dumps. I mean, she noticed how they all felt the same way, but as we end up seeing a silhouette of three people, one of them talking about how one person doesn't have a choice, as another order has just come in and all that stuff. Let's see, and from him in particular. Let's see, with another trying to assure him that this is just like always. Even if they like intercept the message, they'll just think it's communication between civilians and all that stuff. And there are no security cameras will catch them in the spot and all that stuff, so it should be fine. As we hear more, I think of Invisible Girl's thought, let's see, going like, I had to wonder why you haven't smiled once since Midoriya came back to us.
Right.
She was just worried, and everything leading up to Camino, you always pulled off just what All for One asked. Let's see. As it's revealed that, let's see, hold on. Let me just get Class 1A up, just because I can't believe I've forgotten this because I want to pronounce the name right. Let's see, Class 1A.
Oh, you're looking at Oyama.
Yeah.
Oyama.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see, Yugia Anoya, or Can't Stop Twerkling, is revealed to be the spy.
Oh my god!
But yeah, as we see a double-page spread of him, let's see, panic-stricken, teary-eyed and all that stuff, with like these black speech marks saying, "Fail now, and he'll kill us." You know that, Yuga. Revealing in the spy, and you get to say, "I told you so," Blue.
Yeah. We were both right and wrong at the same time.
Oh, yeah. More into this when we give our overall thoughts. But yeah, let's see. Can't Stop Twerkling is the spy.
Twerkling? That's really what it's called? I thought it was twinkling.
Oh, Can't Stop Twinkling. I must be thinking of that. Let's see, very disturbing. Let's see, meme. Let's see that you get in pop culture these days.
Dancey dance, yeah.
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 But yeah. But anyway, we see. Let's see, Ayama's parents. Let's see, Mother we saw before during like briefly when you see All Might fighting All for One for the last time. This is like the first interaction from the far off and all that stuff. With them going about how ever since they started school, you've honored every request he's made and provided him the forest camp training location. Let's see, and no one was ever the wiser. Let's see what this guy trying to say, but Papa, Mama, but let's see. As they go on, we know you never wanted any of this and all that stuff. It's too late, but they say it's too late to turn back now. As Invisible Girl's thinking, this has got to be a joke. This can't be true and all that stuff. As she thinks back to let's see, the training camp time of what happened. Well, let's see, the villain's attack on their school and the training camp thing. Since let's see, she realizes that those two incidences were his fault. Let's see. As the mother reveals that they only ever wanted to give Oyama a chance at happiness in life, as it's revealed that, as we see young Oyama, that he, like Midoriya, was quirkless. So let's see, they went to all for one, not realizing who he is and what he would do. Let's see, who gave Oyama his quirk, so he could trace his dreams and become a hero and be like the rest of them.
Good Lord.
But they didn't realize who he was, and they would never have done it if they knew, as now that, since All for One's given him his quirk, deep down, he's now they're forced to work for him and all that stuff. Because once he was given a quirk from All for One, he's got them in his grip. As Oyama starts getting more upset as their parents talk about this. And I have to admit, this panel of All for One, this is probably the closest we've got to seeing his eye pupils.
Yeah, it's about the closest we've gotten to his face.
Yeah. Anyway, Invisible goes I gotta go find someone, a teacher, anyone, and all that stuff. And it seems like she's spotted someone as she ends up running and all that stuff. As Oyama goes on about how much he's endured due to this. Let's see, and played his part to avoid suspicion, always putting on a brave face to smother my guilty conscience. And he thought when All for One was finally caught in Camino, he thought he was finally free, and that he could have and he could actually be with and actually can have true friends and all that stuff. And to put an end to his act as a spy and all that stuff. But that's clearly not the case. But the parents try to apologize, for being such fools and all that stuff, with Oyama saying that he only wanted to protect them. As he cannot let, All for One kill them. As they continue about how, as they continue begging Yuga to try and save them. However, a rustle in the trees happens with the mother turning around to see that Midoriya and Invisible Girl there, and Midoriya with a shocked face, implying that he is heard. Let's see. And clearly he did. Let's see. But anyway, he ends up asking the parents about how Hagakura just told him what she has just heard, and that the traitor that Yue has been having in their midst is none other than Oyama. Let's see, with the parents trying to brush it off, saying, "No, this is nonsense. The girl must have misheard. It's ridiculous." With Oyama just saying Midoriya's name. Let's see. As him talking about how, as he thinks to himself, how he was the only one who couldn't say a word to him during, when Class 1A was trying to, bring back Midoriya.
Yeah, that was actually kind of suspicious that he didn't have a word to say.
Granted, I think also Invisible Girl didn't really say anything during that time as well. Let's see.
No, there was a few of them that didn't actually have anything to say at all, but...
Yeah, but then again, let's see, but I'll get more to that in a minute, but yeah. With Midoriya trying to say Oyama's name with let's see. As Aoyama says, "Stop! I can't take it from you." As we see Aoyama reading Midoriya's letter in the flashback bit, showing his reaction to the truth, which I guess made Aoyama realize that Midoriya is a lot more like him than he had first thought. With Midoriya getting a bit more serious, talking about how you've been looking all gloomy and all that stuff, so he thought something was wrong. So he came out looking. So he just came out looking for you anyway. So it seems like this is what he was planning to do on anyway, regardless. And this is at this point. Let's see. With I'm thinking like, yes, only him wanting to feel equal. Anyway, he starts to confess at USJ. You're seeing the parents trying to plead with him, and in the forest, as he confesses that he lied to them each time and all that stuff. As he ends up telling Midoriya that he is a despicable, villain and all that stuff. He's sort of smiling but teary-eyed and stuff as Midoriya just looks on at him confessing. And the last panel is the cheese, thing about cheese message he gave Midoriya. All those arcs back. I think when, the Aftermath arc with against Overhaul, where Bakugo and Shota were trying to do their Red and Mill course thing, and this kind of came up afterwards, kind of like its own separate thing, really, but it's included in that arc. With a cheese piecing saying "I know" as the chapter ends with Ayama confessing he's the spy and the despicable villain.
Yeah,
that's the end of the chapter. Oh boy, there's a lot to discuss this time, isn't there?
A lot more, but a lot less at the same time.
But anyway, so first off, let's get to the simpler things. I kind of find it funny how Midoriya's got his afro hair.
Yeah, every time Bakugo is gonna probably explode him now.
Yeah. This is probably gonna happen every time he's in training and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I do like how Bakugo, who is using his winter clothes to improve his cluster thing. To be fair, I did think the winter outfits went very quickly, so I guess they're sticking long term at least. Even if it's technically not winter.
Yeah, that's weird because, well, I mean, a couple months did pass by, they said, but when they did the raid, it was the regular uniform that he was wearing, and now it's back to the winter uniform that he was wearing during his training, his internship again.
Let's see, but yeah, so it seems like he's decided, okay, the cluster seems to be needing a lot of, sweat. Let's see. So it's he makes a lot of sweat and all that stuff, even though the overheating would, drains him a bit more, faster.
Yeah.
At the very least, we've seen more sweat, more powerful he is, so.
Yeah.
It's sort of let's see, he's increasing his power, but sort of decreasing his stamina at the same time, I guess you could say.
Well, it sounds like his plan is to have multiple explosion shots instead of just one massive burst that, flash fire is what it is.
Yeah.
The ultimate move for,
let's see.
Is it flash fire bomb or something like that for Endeavor?
I think so, but either way, it's a nice combo. But it seems to be an interesting combo move. Granted, I'm not sure how different it will be from what we've seen before, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see what Koei does. I also like how it seems like, Shoto is trying to control his left side just as well as his right side with the fire and ice and all that stuff to make it, go
Prominence burn is what it is.
Yeah. As he's preparing for his final fight against Darby and all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, he wants to have both sides equal out to the point where he can't be burned. That's an interesting idea to see how that ends up playing out, because I always pictured Todoroki being more of an offensive guy, but if he's going to go for a more defensive technique, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, granted, I'm going to see. Though, granted, we're probably going to see some sort of fire and ice combination attack, but yeah.
Well, it could just be the same attack that he used against Midoriya all the way back then, which finally got referenced again. If you haven't seen the movie, that's your own fault. Spoiler. Good God.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But anyway, we also finally got an update if they would like also Gigamechia, and we find out that they've made this own special prison for him, it seems.
Well, he kind of needed his own special prison.
I mean, yeah, he was a giant, so yeah. Now, granted, I'm not sure if this is implied that Gigamechia will eventually break free and all that stuff, because, well, you know, once he hears his master's calling, it's a voice, he comes a calling.
Depends on how much the sedative works.
Yeah. But yeah, it really depends, but yeah. But I wouldn't
also depends on the plot.
Yeah. I mean, I could potentially see Gigamechia coming back just so that for this, like, for the final battle, just so that while all of, like, you know, the main UA characters are fighting their, let's see, final opponents, the rest of them can fight, you know, Gigamechia as, like, you know, sort of like multiple heroes taking out this unstoppable force of nature, you know, like Galactus and Marvel.
Right.
So that's
Galactus.
But who knows? Let's see. But this one is up for this. But this we'll have to wait and see. I also kind of like how they do the let's see, Denki and Mineta get explained the reasoning from Bakugo and Momo about how, let's see, why the villains will be the ones making their moves first rather than them making their moves first. Since, well, the villains are good at hiding and seeking, particularly with All for One.
Yep.
The heroes are, like, you know, reduced to half their military, with half their manpower, if you will.
Of course.
And let's see, and the fact that and of course the third reason is that they're the ones who make the first move. Now, interesting enough, it seems that there's a possibility that also one of the quirks that might have been destroyed, though this is just speculation on the hero's part, is that Search is destroyed. The quirk Ragdoll had.
Right.
Let's see. She's appeared now again, contemplating the loss of her quirk, but it seems like if it has been destroyed due to Stars and Stripes, she's never going to get it back. But oh well.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. This could also now be setting up. I wonder if one of. I know I said one of my speculations the last time was that, maybe Midoriya has like this self-destruct that destroys both him and All for One. Maybe this now could potentially hint at maybe instead of just destroying them entirely, maybe what it does is going to reset the whole planet back to having no quirks at all.
Okay, that's an interesting theory.
I don't know if that's really going to happen, but now that could potentially happen because it's like everyone keeps talking. At least this chapter hinted it out that no one likes being different and everyone wants to be kind of equal.
That is a possibility, but yeah. But anyway,
I'll throw it out there just in case anyone's interested.
Well, if that ends up happening, then that could probably definitely guarantee no My Hero Academia, let's see, Next Generation spin-off. But anyway, but yeah. But anyway, I thought he was going to imply that you might get like Yuri. Let's see, I'm trying to Eri-chan possibly using her quirk to restore, let's see, ragdolls, but yeah. But anyway, I do like how I also find it funny how Ida just whacked Midoriya in the head. Like, don't you mean we? As when he was talking about, you know, I'm gonna go Ritzy soon, be ready to go out and research for like All for One and Shigaraki. I just like how, you know, it's like we're doing this together this time. So that was fun.
Ida being Ida.
Yeah. And I did find that little Betsy panel of Uraraka being embarrassed to be cute, so you're there.
Still got to get Uraraka in there at some point. Yeah.
Let's see. Well, let's hope besides maybe a possible rematch against Toga, Koei has some other stuff planned for her.
It seems like every shonen doesn't like really doing much with their heroine.
Well, except maybe Black Clover.
Yeah, that might be the only one so far. Because I mean, it's not like Oda does. I mean, Nami still has a prominent role every now and then, but it's not like she's the heavy hitter like Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy. Clearly.
Yeah. Anyway, but I have to admit, one thing that I gotta give props to Koei from. He really did pull a fast one on most of probably the fan base, including me.
Yeah, I guess everyone should have stuck to whatever. If they thought it was Oyama, I had it right the first time when I was telling you, and now I couldn't get it the second time. Oyama. If anyone had suspected Oyama before and thought, oh no, now he's not the traitor, they should have just stuck to their guts.
Yeah. I do like how, let's see, at first he still makes her think that it's her, but then goes like, then you start hearing her thinking, and then you start hearing other people, and then voila, it's Oyama and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah. I have to admit, let's see. I have to admit, it's a pretty clever, and not to mention, very clever red herring. This is how you do a red herring, Kishimoto.
Yeah. Or at least, yeah. You do this way and not do it the other way. The reason I said I didn't think it was her is because she doesn't really have much of a prominence anyway. So if he was going to establish anything with Toru, it would have just been it would have had to have been heavily implied somewhere before. Oyama is the only one who had anything that could have possibly made him look like the traitor at any point.
Oh yeah, because like the previous arc where you got that sort of like suspicious panel of him smiling and all that stuff, watching Midoriya.
Well, you had that one. You had the fact that no one knew where he was. Toru at least has the excuse of being invisible, so
yeah,
her not being Todoroki not knowing she was around kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, she's invisible, of course.
But granted, there are probably some. Let's see. I do think Koei did leave some some hints that it might have been her, but those are probably intended as red herring, such as
it could have been.
Due to her being invisible, she was like saying that she could have possibly lied about being there with Shoto, and then of course implying that let's go to the mall thing, implying that she planned that so Shigaraki could meet Midoriya. But now it's confirmed that it was just probably mere coincidence.
I think it always felt like mere coincidence because I don't know, Shigaraki just, I think in that arc was like debating himself anyway on, because I think that was right after Stain that he was like questioning himself. It's like, oh man, Stain doesn't even believe me.
Yeah. No, let's see. Everyone's all about Stain and all that stuff, I think you mean.
Well, that too, but it was like he didn't have. Although, personally to me, I don't think he really ever developed on his true. Because that was what Stain said. You just sound like you just want to cause destruction for the sake of destruction, and I don't really know if he's really evolved past that idea of destruction for destruction, just despising the heroes. But whatever, the story seems to claim that he's found a true motive in life. So
yeah,
Shigaraki's true motive is making a world without heroes or some shit like that.
Anyway, let's see. But either way, I think let's see. It seemed coincidence enough that you could believe that the theory of the invisible girl leading there could possibly be that thing.
I guess. It
But
just seemed way too
yeah,
coincidental to be like a true thought process to me. I don't know. Taru probably is just always going to be that one character that doesn't get much to do anyway because of the nature of her abilities. She's mainly just going to be a stealth person. So
let's see that quirky invisible girl. But yeah, well, she's getting a lot to do now. But anyway,
she
the
gets
last.
it for this, but I mean, I'm just saying in action manga, she doesn't really have much of an ability to flash or show off or anything. So that's why she's basically the most underused character in this series.
That's a few jokes I'm thinking of, but I'm not going to go there. But let's see.
She's invisible. She's hidden in from the plot
But
itself.
yeah. Well, let's see. Interesting about another third hint here, in which they do kind of Ayama does kind of bring up about how he's the only one in that moment that can that remains silent. I do think the invisible girl also didn't really say anything during that time, or at
Man,
least
you
not
just don't like saying her real name, Taru, but
Haru. Sometimes the
I
hero
know.
name is easier to remember than the actual name. Okay.
Probably true. I mean, I'm sure everyone just remembers her by Invisible Girl instead of her real name. Because again, she's not in the manga enough to really remember her real name.
But yeah,
Taru,
Taru. I don't
Taru,
think
or whatever. Yeah.
besides Taru and Oyama, they're the only ones that didn't really get really involved in the fight. So that was also another sort of red herring, where you could have made it to believe it was her. So
I don't remember if Denki had much. Well, maybe he did. Actually, he probably had some things to say, but.
oh yeah, he was trying to electrocute Midoriya, trapped in a rubber suit thing, and talking about how when they get back, you're getting a bath, Midoriya.
Oh yeah. Trying to think. I thought there was at least one other person other than the two of them that didn't really have anything.
It was Red Riot. He mostly just catched Midoriya as he fell down and all that stuff. But he
Because
did
he
get
wasn't there. That's right. He wasn't there. He was with I think he was with Fat. No, he was with Endeavor.
yeah, but he did get to say some things about how Midoriya, it was him that was running to save Bakugo during the sludge villain incident and all that stuff.
Right. Which
And
was
talking
it's
about how
like,
he had,
oh man, you got to do what I wanted to do back then and you were quirkless.
yeah. And then afterwards, of course, with Denki and Midoriya, they all gave him a bath, which may or may not count as fan service for the fangirls, I guess.
Yeah.
And I made a joke about that when Midoriya did take a bath at last, but let's see, but yeah.
Who didn't have anything else? I thought there was some other than. I thought there was a third person that didn't really say anything, but
no, it was Red Riot, Ayama, and Invisible Girl. They're the
go
ones
back
that did
and
the
read
least
it
during
again
that.
anyway.
But yeah,
Yeah.
they're the ones that did the least. But yeah, it was mostly just Invisible Girl and Ayama that didn't really say much to Midoriya.
Hmm.
But anyway, we end up. But anyway, I do find it interesting that it seems, even though Ayama is the spy, we see that Kawai's going with he's forced to do this, as we end up finally revealing that Ayama was quirkless like Midoriya and all that stuff, which I think makes an interesting parallel to Midoriya, since this could have ended up being the path Midoriya might have ended up taking if he encountered All for One first rather than All Might.
Oh yeah, given having the ability to have a quirk,
Yeah,
to be a hero.
yeah. Now, granted, whether or not Midoriya would have accepted it from All for One, I don't think we'll ever know. But who knows? Perhaps Midoriya will probably think back. Perhaps maybe Midoriya will think about it next chapter. As he wondered, could I have been like Ayama if I didn't run into All Might and all that stuff?
Considering how under wraps One for All, or All for One was, and One for All for that matter, but yeah, considering Midoriya didn't even know how All Might got hurt, it's safe to say that he may or may not have taken him up on that offer. Because no one really knew that guy was a villain. Or the villain.
Yeah.
Because they
Which
really kept his identity a secret.
oh yeah, let's see, and it's like
Like, we didn't even know how All Might, when Chapter 1 came out, it was like, oh, we just had some massive battle.
But yeah, but all those like dojins and fanfics of like evil Midoriya and villain Midoriya, I think there's now going to be a new twist where he's now like villain spy Midoriya for All for One.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, there's more material now for everyone at this point, because, like,
definitely for this definitely after this chapter. But yeah, and also we get a proper introduction with like Oyama's parents and all that stuff, which
I guess it makes sense that someone else would have had to have had an ability given to him.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they always mentioned that, yeah, he has the ability to steal them, but he also has the ability to give them away.
Yeah. Not to mention, we have noticed how, let's see, when the last time when Oyama and Midoriya talked, and when at first, let's see, Oyama was looking suspicious, but then revealed that, oh, his quirk doesn't properly work like Midoriya's and all that stuff. And he's just saying he was always born something wrong with his quirk. But now we realize that.
The reason he never got to train his quirk, yeah.
Yeah. Not to mention, one of the side effects, possibly one of the side effects with All for One giving someone a quirk is that they don't always, let's see, the person and the quirk aren't always compatible. And of course, worst case scenario, you end up brain dead like the Nomu.
Yeah. So he ended up being compatible enough to where it wasn't really killing him, but
let's see, but he needed like special equipment in order to use it.
Yeah.
So that's like, so in many ways, All for One gave him his quirk, but also gave him a one that's a sort of a handicap to him, and also putting him into his like and in his like in his like trying to find the phrase for it, in his pocket. I think that's the one.
He gets to be a pawn in his game. Yeah.
So yeah, and for we know, let's see, like with I'm trying to remember, Lady Naga. Let's see, he could always make it. We could always made. Let's see, Oyama's quirk. Let's see, ready to self-destruct if he like double crosses him.
I don't know if the self-destruct is something that he included in it, or if it was something. I don't know. I'd have to go back to read that because I don't know if he gave. I don't know. I don't know if the self-destruct was something he just recently did, or if it's always been something he's been capable of doing. I'd have to really
but yeah,
look back into that. I mean, I guess that is a possibility that yes. But it seems like the self-destruct doesn't actually even kill the user, so
who knows? But yeah, but either way, All for One is still either way. He's still got Yuga to bear where he's threatened like the parents, like you failed, you double crossed me, I killed them, kind of thing.
Well, now I think this is hilarious because now this can be used to the hero's advantage.
Yeah,
this might actually be the idea where they can use it to the hero now they can use it to their advantage because now if he gives them the actual information they can be prepared this time. So I'm curious if this is actually a good setup,
but we'll just have to wait and see on that bit. But yeah,
if you're smart, the heroes could use this knowing that they now have a double agent on their hands. If they're not smart, then they'll just be like, oh, well, shoot, you've just been, you've been secretly giving information. We can't let you, we can't let you get away with this.
Yeah. But yeah, let's see, going on a bit, let's see, I do like how the panel we've got of All for One is the closest we've ever seen to his actual face.
I don't think we're ever going to see it. And if we do, it's going to be at the very tail end.
Yeah. Maybe it'll
not that it really matters.
Or maybe All for One will go like, Midoriya, I am your father, face reveal. But nah. I mean, there is some theories about that, but I think
I don't know how that would work at this point.
Yeah, I think at this point, let's see, I think Koei has killed off that theory.
Well, his father had the ability to breathe fire. Mm-hmm. We never have seen his father since, or ever, really.
Now, granted, the narration about granted, the theory about the father is that Midoriya is actually narrating the story to him and all that stuff.
That could be possible. I doubt it though.
But I guess we'll have to wait and see because I know Corey said that the father is going to play a role in the story at some point. We just have yet to see the father. But yeah,
He's
but anyway.
he's gonna come save Midori at the last second.
But yeah, but anyway, but yeah, but let's see. With like, but now double looking at that page of like, let's see, let's see, Taru heading to like trying to find a teacher or someone.
Yeah,
I must admit, I think
yeah.
I do like how, let's see, I will admit, I do like how Koei has been, let's see. I think Koei deliberately used her as a red herring because he knows that everyone was suspecting her and all that stuff.
Only
So,
because that was the last time that. The only reason we suspected her at this point was because he'd thrown us off when we thought it was
yeah.
Ayama the first time. And then the only reason everyone started thinking it was her again is because that's who the panel ended on last week.
Oh, yeah.
We wouldn't have thought it was her at all at any point because beyond Ayama, there was really no one. That's why I thought the whole idea that there was a traitor at all was kind of just smoke and mirrors. I thought that was just a plot to maybe think, oh, the villains can't possibly be that too far ahead to think of how to get in to the point.
Okay, but yeah, like I was saying, I think he deliberately knew that it's like that. So let's see, used it. Not to mention, there have been other, let's see, mangakas where you had like characters that have been there, but not really that developed, but then revealed to be a spy later on.
Could be. I think the only problem is that even now, with there actually being a traitor and it being proven that it's Oyama, that first raid during the training battle, whatever, I don't remember what the name of that arc was, is the fact that the villains, yeah, they only acquired like very super low end villains, but they didn't seem to know any of the quirks of the abilities, which should have been given to them. So who knows how much Oyama gave away.
I guess you could say Ayama didn't specifically have enough time to like get to know everyone's quirks, I guess, or
Well, it should have been first knowledge because he was there for everyone got to see the when it was the hero registration to get into UA. And then by that time he had everyone's quirk because Azawa did that training to test what their best abilities were.
I guess, but I guess let's see, he didn't have enough time to describe in detail who's who and who has which quirk and all that stuff.
We'll never know but again, going now off this language alone too, he didn't consider any of them as friends, so there was no reason to hold back information at that time.
Let's see. Okay, but okay, I'm trying to find reasons to go against Jitsi. Why?
I know. You could go against reasons. I don't really care because I mean I'm sure something will come up eventually.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like My Hero has that many loose ends.
Granted, it could be that if let's see, if like Koei explains this, it could be that Oyama was holding back some information because he still was like a bit reluctant to be a spy and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All that, let's see, he's very bad. All that he didn't. Let's see. All that he gave descriptions, but the villains, due to being low time ones, were very poor at figuring out which one was who and all that stuff.
Although when they did the teleport, it was God, I always forget that the
Kurogiri.
Yeah, it was Kurogiri who separated all of them. So, because yeah, the reason it it ended up working in their favor was because again they didn't know that when it was Midoriya, Minata, and Sue, they sent Sue to a water area. It's like, oh wow, you sent a frog to a water area.
Not to mention, you could make the argument that due to the mist of battle, let's see, Kurogiri didn't have too much time to think, okay, where do I send who to where and all that stuff. So it's like he did random teleportations.
Could have. But I think he always had control of it no matter what he was thinking or not.
Now, let's see. Oh my god. Let's see. At some point I feel like you're like James when it comes, but let's see.
I'm just doing it in this situation. I don't think there's any really bad. Like I said, I think he always covers loose ends, but if this happens to be the one time that this never gets covered, it'll be like, well, you know what? How did that first one ever go by? the answer probably would just end up being, oh, we never really had a plan for a traitor until that one point in time.
Well, that could be that, and
I'm always willing to have that just be the explanation that, well, we never really planned for a traitor, so.
But who knows? I'm sure if he does, it's probably like not necessarily at that time, but I'm sure he could also find an excuse for it.
I'm positive he can. He always seems to.
But yeah, but it's probably also best not to overthink these things as well.
In a shonen manga, probably not.
Otherwise, you might be James when it comes to Dragon Ball Super.
Over analyzing every aspect of a series, yes.
And then let's say, oh boy, I'm probably saying too much, people, but let's just say James says something planned involved Dragon Ball. I won't go there.
Let's just say something.
Alright, I'm going to shut up now about that, but yeah.
Shut up!
He could be watching this.
He could be.
But yeah. So anyway, it's interesting to find that Oyama's played this part, and in many ways, that one panel with him during the All Might versus All For One fight has added a bit more context to what he was actually trying to do there, and why he was like all that. Let's see, why he was all shocked and all that stuff. He seems like he was secretly hoping that All Might would be able to stop, let's say, All For One, and he'd be rid of him for good. And he's free to like make friends and be a hero like he always wanted. I do like that. How he's desperately hoping, but he realizes now that there's no escaping it and all that stuff. And if he doesn't do what he says,
right,
the parents are toasting. It's just that in the moment Ritzy Midoriya comes. And I do like how you just got like this, the expression Midoriya has is like, let's see, are you really the traitor, Oyama?
Are you the traitor?
But yeah. But I do like, let's see, in many ways this builds up from the last time Midoriya and Oyama interacted or had a conversation thing where he says, I know what your quirk is and all that stuff. I know the secret of your quirk. As it ends up being just like every side character, the only one to have the most impact on the main character has the most impact on them and all that stuff, if you will.
Right.
As Oyama just cannot lie to Midoriya. And let's see. I do like how Midoriya ends up talking about how he was suspicious of Oyama. So he ended up trying to go look for him and all that stuff. And at this point, it's even though the parents tried to say it's no, you must misheard and all that stuff. Oyama just cannot lie to Midoriya because he's his genuine friend. So he admits that he lied to them. He's the spy. He's the villain. He's a scumbag.
My brother is in arms. My brother in arms. Yeah.
Anyways, you could even say that he kind of gave a hint to that he was the spy to Midoriya with the whole cheese message thing as well.
Well, the I know thing suddenly.
Yeah.
Goes back to
So yeah. So now let's see the chapter that will come out unofficially in a few days, but a few more on the Sunday officially. We'll actually find out whether or not how Midoriya is going to respond.
His response.
Yeah.
Knowing Midoriya is probably not going to be doing too much.
Yeah, at the very least, I don't think he can keep this quiet. I don't think the other. Let's see. I think he's going to probably end up telling someone, but yeah. But I think let's see. He's also going to try and help. Let's see. It's Oyama Yuga. It's because it's in his nature. He wants to save as many people as he can because he's a true hero.
A true hero, a true born amongst us hero.
It'll be very interesting what happens to like Oyama afterwards. I'm pretty certain if the rest of Class 1A find out, Bakugo for one isn't going to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Because well, let's see, due to the fact the training camp one led to him being kidnapped and eventually All Might losing his abilities. So there's stuff like that. The only question is whether or not Oyama will still be able to allow to continue to be a hero.
Oh.
Will he be expelled? Will he be still allowed to continue and all that stuff? In this case, if he's removed from like Class 1A, would that mean Shinsho will end up taking his place and all that stuff? Which is kind of interesting because Oyama Yuga is, of course, like the student with like registered as desk 1 for like the heroes of Class 1A.
Right.
Yeah. Number one. Let's see. Number 1 in registration is the number 1 villain. But anyway. So, what are you thinking? You think we might get some? You think let's see. You think it's just gonna be more talking? You think there might be some action, or you think let's see the others will forgive Oyama? You think they'll be too bad that they have him taken away into custody? Blah blah blah. Or I take it your theory about him, they're using this as a double-edged sword and like, give him false information to All for One to make that.
I don't think it's going to be false. I think he might actually tell him the truth. I'd hope it go my route because again, I think they can finally. This was the true advantage they were looking for because again, when at the start of the chapter they mentioned that they have to wait for the villains to make their move. This might be the one opportunity they get to have, like, literally give the right information, but be prepared for it.
Mm-hmm.
So if an attack were to hit, say, right now, they could get rid of half the villain forces to make it even again.
Yep.
So if they go that route, that'd be great. If they don't necessarily have to do that next chapter, but if they go that route, that'd be smart.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm not sure if this is the beginning of a new arc or not, or continuing on from like the Stars and Stripes stuff, though granted that might be its own mini arc. But either way, if this is the beginning of a new arc of a hero's counterattack, I think it's off to a promising start, I will admit.
What I think next week we'll probably do, though, is knowing Midoriya, he's not going to really try and do anything.
Rash.
Well, yeah, I don't think he's going to try and attack Oyama at all.
So yeah. But either way, I'm avoiding spoilers until the chapter's actually out.
I haven't really even seen too many spoilers, if any spoilers at all. So good for you if you somehow found some.
Yeah, well, I've not really been looking, to be honest. I mean, I've been too busy with work, and not to mention I've lost all the data on my phone.
That sucks. Yeah, if I find one, it might be cool, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it's next. I could see the lame one being possibly that it's just more talking.
But yeah.
I don't think there's going to be, well, not that I was expecting much action anyway, but
yeah. But either way, let's see, Koei has managed to add more depth to like what was regarded as a jokey side character.
Yeah. Well, hooray.
So yeah. Overall, I think I'll give this chapter a 9 out. Oh, that's my alarm, sorry. A 9 out of 10. Maybe a 9.5.
I think 9's solid. Yeah. I don't know if it's per se that good, but it was a reveal and it actually had some progressing forward situation moments. So
Yeah.
that's not terrible.
Yeah. Let's see, a clever red herring. Let's see, a little update on let's see what the hero about. Let's see, Bakugo and Shelter have planned. Some updates on the villains and what their plans to do a counter thing, and then of course the traitor reveal thing. So yeah. Granted, I am curious. Let's see, the only thing I'm curious about is now that let's see Invisible Go figure out Ion as the spy. I wonder if that means those two are going to have a lot more interactions and all that stuff. Let's see, it would be interesting, but yeah. But anyway, so overall, it's let's see, 9 out of 10 at least. So I'm looking forward to the next chapter. I'm not sure if you'll be able to join me or not, Mangareader. I guess it depends with how busy you are for the Christmas holidays coming up and all that stuff.
Right.
Not to mention, Lucky Chi will also hopefully be back by then.
Yeah. I still haven't done my other thing that I was supposed to do with Chi, so
yeah,
we'll see.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I am Blue Star Saber.
And Mangareader.
And we are signing off, people. Plus Ultra. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.
Pudas Austra.
And we're done.
Pudas Ultra.